Today we stand at the intersection of two powerful ideas, waiting and creating. The question I pose to you, are you waiting for the right moment or are you creating it? Isn't just a question of action. It's a question that forces us to examine how we view our potential, how we define opportunity, and how we respond to the flow of life. This question asks us to pause and reflect. Are we passive spectators in the drama of our lives, or are we active agents of change, carving out our future with intention? To wait or to create. These are two opposing forces that govern much of human existence. Waiting often feels like the safer choice. It allows us to stay in our comfort zone, to avoid risks, and to hold off on making decisions that may change the trajectory of our lives. Waiting implies that we trust the universe will give us the right circumstances, the right time, and the right resources to act. But here's the problem with waiting. The moment you're waiting for may never arrive. Life is not static. It moves forward relentlessly. And if we are not careful, waiting can turn into inaction. Time slips through our fingers like sand, and with it, our opportunities. The world around us is a place of constant change. It is chaotic, unpredictable, and often full of challenges. We are faced with the unknown every single day. If we wait for the perfect moment when everything is in place, when all the conditions are favorable, when there are no risks left, when we feel 100% ready, how long will we be waiting? And how many opportunities will have passed us by while we are waiting? Waiting is often just another name for fear. It's the fear of failure, the fear of rejection, the fear of the unknown. It is the fear that we are not enough as we are, that we need more time, more experience, more money, more validation before we are ready to act. This fear can be paralyzing, and it keeps us in a state of hesitation, convincing ourselves that we are being prudent when in reality, we are holding ourselves back from the life we truly want to live. Let's explore what it means to wait for the right moment. Think of how often we have delayed taking action because the circumstances didn't feel perfect. You might have said to yourself, I'll apply for that dream job once I have a little more experience, or I'll start my own business when I have more savings, or I'll work on that personal project when I have more free time. It feels reasonable, even responsible, to wait for conditions to improve. But what we fail to realize is that conditions will never be perfect. There will always be challenges, always something that feels lacking. If we wait for perfection, we may never begin at all. The truth is, there is no such thing as the perfect moment. The stars rarely align in the way we expect them to. Life, in its essence, is unpredictable. And while there is value in planning and preparation, we must be careful not to fall into the trap of over-preparation. This is where we convince ourselves that we are merely being responsible by waiting, when in fact we are postponing action out of fear or doubt. The more we wait, the more we reinforce the belief that we are not ready. And soon, waiting becomes a habit. Days turn into months and months into years, and before we know it, the dreams we once held close have become distant memories of what could have been. Let me give you a powerful metaphor. Imagine you're standing by the shore of a vast ocean. You want to set sail to reach a distant island, the place where your dreams, aspirations, and goals reside. But you hesitate. You tell yourself, I'll wait until the waters are completely calm, the wind is at my back, and the skies are clear. Then I will set sail. The problem is those conditions may never come. The ocean of life is rarely calm. Sometimes you must set sail even when the winds are strong, even when the waves are high, and even when the skies are uncertain. Because if you wait too long, the opportunity set sail may pass you by, and the island of your dreams will remain forever distant. So, what is the alternative? Creating the right moment. This is where the magic happens. This is where growth, transformation, and progress take place. Creating your own moment means recognizing that while external circumstances may never be perfect, you have the power to take action regardless. It is the realization that you are not at the mercy of fate, waiting for life to give you the green light. You can take charge. You can create opportunities rather than waiting for them to be handed to you. You can forge your own path even when the way forward isn't entirely clear. Creating the right moment requires a shift in mindset. It demands that we move from being reactive to being proactive. Instead of responding to the circumstances around us, we begin to shape those circumstances ourselves. It means taking initiative even in the face of uncertainty. It means being willing to take risks, knowing that growth and success often come from stepping into the unknown. Creating the right moment is about embracing the imperfections of life and recognizing that action, no matter how small, is always better than inaction. Let's look at some examples of people who have created their own moments. Think of historical figures like Martin Luther King Jr., who didn't wait for the perfect political climate to advocate for civil rights. He stepped forward even when the conditions were hostile, and his courage created a movement that changed the course of history. Think of entrepreneurs like Jeff Bezos, who didn't wait for the internet to be fully developed before launching Amazon. He saw an opportunity and seized it, despite the uncertainty of what the online marketplace would become. Think of artists like Vincent van Gogh, who didn't wait for the world to recognize his genius. He painted tirelessly, even though he sold only one painting during his lifetime because he believed in the value of his work. These individuals didn't wait for the perfect moment, they created it. And in doing so, they changed their lives and the world around them. But how did they do it? What qualities enabled them to create their own moments despite the challenges and obstacles they faced? The first and most important quality is courage. Creating the right moment requires us to face our fears head on. It requires us to acknowledge that there are no guarantees, that failure is a possibility, and that we may encounter setbacks along the way. But courage is not the absence of fear, it is the decision to move forward in spite of that fear. Courage allows us to take the first step, even when we don't have all the answers. It enables us to venture into the unknown, trusting that we will figure things out along the way. Courage is what turns dreams into reality, because without it, we remain stuck in the realm of what if. The second quality is resilience. When you create your own moment, you will inevitably encounter obstacles. There will be times when things don't go as planned, when you face setbacks, when you experience failure. But resilience is the ability to keep going even when the going gets tough. It is the capacity to bounce back from failure, to learn from mistakes, and to adapt to changing circumstances. Resilience is what allows us to persevere in the face of adversity. And it is one of the most important qualities for anyone who seeks to create their own moment. Resilience is not just about enduring hardship, it's about growing through it. Every setback is an opportunity to learn. Every failure is a stepping stone to success. The more resilient you are, the more willing you are to take risks, because you know that no matter what happens, you have the strength to keep moving forward. Resilience is what turns obstacles into opportunities, and it is what separates those who wait for the right moment from those who create it. The third quality is resourcefulness. Create your own moment doesn't mean you need to have all the resources at your disposal from the start. Often, it means making the most of what you have, even when it seems insufficient. It means being creative in your approach, finding new solutions to old problems, and leveraging the resources around you, whether that's your time, your skills, or the people in your network. Resourcefulness is about using what you have to get where you want to go, even when the path isn't clear. Finally, creating the right moment requires a deep sense of purpose. Purpose is the driving force behind every action. It is the reason you get out of bed in the morning, the reason you keep going when things get tough, and the reason you're willing to take risks. When you have a clear sense of purpose, you are more willing to create your own moment, because you know that the stakes are high. Your purpose is bigger than your fear. It gives you the strength to act, even when the conditions aren't perfect, because you know that what you are working toward is worth the effort. In conclusion, life offers us the distinct choice between waiting for the perfect moment or actively creating it. While waiting may initially seem like the safer, more calculated option, it often leads to missed opportunities, stagnation, and ultimately regret. We fall into the illusion that external conditions need to be flawless before we can take meaningful steps forward. But life rarely offers ideal circumstances. It is unpredictable, filled with challenges, and far from perfect. If we sit passively on the sidelines, waiting for everything to align, we may end up watching our dreams slip away while time continues its relentless march forward. Waiting can be comforting because it allows us to avoid risks, uncertainty, and the fear of failure. However, in this state of waiting, fear often masquerades as prudence. We convince ourselves that we're just being responsible or cautious, when in truth we are letting self-doubt control our actions. We hesitate, telling ourselves that we need more preparation, more resources, or more experience before taking the plunge. But the reality is that growth does not happen in stasis. It happens in motion, in action, in the messiness of trying, failing, learning, and trying again. On the other hand, creating the right moment demands an entirely different mindset. It requires us to step into a role of empowerment, taking responsibility for our future rather than waiting for circumstances to improve. Those who create their own moments understand that waiting for perfect conditions is a luxury that rarely, if ever, comes. They recognize that uncertainty is part of the process, and instead of being paralyzed by it, they embrace it. They understand that every moment carries the potential to be the right moment if we choose to act with purpose and conviction. Creating your own moment doesn't mean you act recklessly or without preparation, but it does mean taking action even when conditions aren't flawless. It means developing the courage to start, even if you don't have every detail worked out or every resource in hand. It's about recognizing that progress is made not by waiting for the stars to align, but by charting your own course through trial, effort, and resilience. One of the key ingredients to creating your own moment is courage. Without courage, we remain stuck in the cycle of someday, constantly pushing our dreams further into the future. Courage allows us to take that first step into the unknown, even when we don't feel fully ready. It enables us to risk failure, knowing that even failure is a step toward growth. Those who succeed don't do so because they waited for the perfect moment. They succeed because they acted despite their fears, and in doing so, they created their own opportunities. Another vital component is resilience. Life will throw obstacles our way, and the path to success is rarely smooth. When you create your own moment, you will undoubtedly face setbacks, failures, and challenges that test your resolve. But resilience is what keeps you moving forward. It's the strength to get back up after a fall, to learn from mistakes, and to continue pursuing your goals with determination. Without resilience, even the most courageous efforts can falter. But with it, each challenge becomes a stepping stone towards success, not a barrier to it. To create your moment, you also need to cultivate resourcefulness. Opportunities don't always present themselves neatly wrapped with a bow. Often they require us to dig deep, think creatively, and make the most of what we have. Whether it's leveraging your network, honing your skills, or finding new ways to approach old problems, resourcefulness is about maximizing the tools at your disposal to move forward. It's not about waiting for the perfect set of circumstances, but about finding solutions in the face of imperfection. Perhaps the most important element in creating your own moment is having a clear sense of purpose. Purpose is the driving force that gives meaning to your actions. It's what propels you forward when the going gets tough, and it's what makes the risks and challenges worth it. When you have a clear purpose, you are more willing to take bold action, to create your own opportunities, because you know why you're doing it. Your purpose serves as your compass, guiding you through uncertainty and helping you stay focused on what truly matters. The power of creating your own moment extends beyond individual success. It sets an example for others, inspiring those around you to take charge of their own lives and futures. By acting with intention, by stepping into the role of creator rather than passive observer, you not only transform your own reality, but you also contribute to a ripple effect of empowerment and possibility in the lives of others. When you choose to create your moment, you become a force of change, not just in your own life, but in the world at large. So as you leave here today, I challenge you to reflect deeply on how you approach the opportunities in your life. Are you waiting for everything to be perfect? Or are you seizing the moments available to you and transforming them into something meaningful? The choice is yours. Life will continue to move forward whether we act or not, but those who choose to create their moments will find that they are the architects of their own success. They will discover that every moment, no matter how imperfect, holds within it the potential for greatness. The right moment is not something you stumble upon or wait for it. It's something you craft with your hands, your heart, and your mind. It is something you build through action, perseverance, and unwavering belief in your own power to shape your future. And when you do that, when you choose to create your moment, you will find that the possibilities are endless. So don't wait. Don't hesitate. The perfect moment never arrived. The moment is now and it is yours to create. Thank you.